Girl in the house.
When I look down now, it's a picnic. When I look at that two little picnic in there.
Reggie.
I him one get there. You know, say about four of them, they over there, four boys. I him alone get there.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. The video that you just saw has been making its round on social media. What it shows, a couple of girls, schoolgirls from Charlemont High School, which is in St. Catherine. It is said that the police got some information, went to the premises. When they went to the premises, they took out a couple of girls. It is said that there were at least 4 boys in the house with these girls. 3 or so of them run away, fled the scene of the crime. Police fling everybody in the Jeep back. Now, bad enough, during school time, these little picnic there, man, yard, it is the reaction of these children. When the people on the scene, I said, Jesus Christ, what a disgrace, what are they doing in a people yard, man yard during school time? I want you to take a listen, take a look to the reaction of these little bad picnic, and then I'll give my piece.
I talk about my friend so good. You remove me that girl down tonight. And you in a focus and an ambition. Just because you can't tell my friend.
Now, people, you heard the reaction of these little picnic when the people must say, what a disgrace. One of them are utter and I tell the people, I call them so good girl or so good woman, whatever the case is. And that lady responded, well, you are supposed to be at school, you are supposed to be getting an education, but you're there a man yard. Now, people, just imagine, school time, picnic, and people call school all the time. However, when you call school and you're gone a man yard, more than likely, the man yard that you're at that time is supposed to be at work. So therefore, careless girl and careless man. And like I've always said, idle dog walk idle monkey. Show me your company and I'll show you exactly who you are. So the moral of the story is this. When you look at the future, these are the same people, a fight, a cuss. They are the lane mouth or lane foot, whichever you want to call it. In all sorts of contention, breed up these same little young youth where you see, when them young and have fun, and them come, them gone, left these girls to pretty much fend for themselves with this worthless picnic that then becomes a menace to society. Point blank and period.
Nothing about this not safe. What kind of deal this? Fuck with this, you know, dog. Fuck with this, you know. No yellow marking, nothing at all. Fuck with this, you know. Fuck with this. Fuck with this. Fuck with this, brother. Fuck with this. So watch out now. Watch out now. Watch out. Fuck with this. Watch out. Fuck with this. Fuck with this. This a fuck. I think I may put this one. Fuck with this. Fuck with this. This a fuck with. See that? You can't carry a big road. This a fuck with.
So the next thing that is popping in the news, based on the video that you just watched, apparently, these people have been parking on one side of the road for years. So they think that in their own minds that it is okay. They are claiming that the police should not clamp the vehicle, boot the vehicle like them call it in America, because they've been parking there forever and a day. Well, the truth and the fact is that that is what we call a 2-lane road. One for go east, one for go west, one for go north, one for go south. However, people think that it is convenient that they can just park anywhere. And even though you hear them saying, well, no yellow line are there, that's therefore we can park, that is not true. It is east and west lane, north and south lane. Those both lanes should be cleared at all time of the day so that other motorists can go about their business without being impeded. So therefore, if you're impeding traffic, the flow of traffic, meaning that if somebody is going from east to west or somebody is going from west to east, they might have to go wait and give the next person the right of way. So therefore, you are inconveniencing people. But what we've come to realize is that the indiscipline in Jamaica, people start to normalize FUCKRY. So therefore, whenever the police or the relevant authority do their job like they're supposed to be doing from the start. So the moral of the story, like I've always said, don't start no ish, won't be no ish. Whenever you give people that are inconsiderate chances, they want you to give them chances over and over again until you put down your foot. Then them start to cuss you out and tell you, oh, you're wicked and ratey, lele. Such is the case in this case, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Another One Bites the Dust. The tally is 65 persons taken out by the police since the start of 2025. 3 short months. The latest one named Jamar, known as Zaga in the street, come from settlement that is in Old Harbour Bay. Based on the information, it is said that this man was wanted by the police, detained by the police, just like the regular criminal elements, like a revolving door in and out of prison. Them decides that them are going to fix him up the real and proper way this time. At about 4 a.m. in the morning, crack of dawning, he was sleeping. Police said them pull up on the premises. When them pull up on the premises, you and I know the usual script, it never changes. They came under fire, returned fire. After the smoke clear, you know the rest. Zaga was clutching on to his life while clutching on to a tool with several rounds yet to be discharged. He was taken out, fatally arrested, sent to the afterlife. Now when this happened, of course, you know, so the resident must say, well, the man for in a pie out with the police and he must sleep. 4 o'clock a morning, them catch him sleeping and gave him eternal nap. Well, people, this is the question I would have to ask again. Is Zaga involved in a criminal activity? Is Zaga wanted for murder? Was Zaga detained a couple of times for the same sorts of mischief? The answer to all of these is yes. But what is controversial, based on what the people them say, is that the police seize all the CCTV video camera footage from all over the area, knock on people door, businesses, and forcefully remove the camera, remove the whole system. Now we see that there's been a whole bunch of controversy as it pertains to Jamaica for justice. Them have said that, no sir, 2025 is unlike any other year we've seen. We've seen several decades when these police was acting up, but 2025, them take it to the furthest extent. Where are these body cameras? How is it that there's always conflicting polar different story when it comes to the police and resident? Controversially, extrajudicial, them call it. And again, your Justice Minister, Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang has responded. And he's lashing out about the Jamaican for Justice human rights group, saying that they are impeding the hands of the police from doing their lawful duty. I want you to take a look to what Dr. Chang has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
But at the rate we have started the year, and we are now in the 3rd month, we could see under 800 murders. That's not their target, because they know we're coming from a high number. And they are prepared to work, and I'm prepared to wait and give them the resources. On what basis are they shouting to the world that the Jamaican police is involved in extrajudicial killing? It's undermining the moral of the force, it's wrong, and it damages the society.
Well, people, it is the same all same. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. If you hear the human rights Jamaicans for Justice come out and I say, where are these hundreds of body cameras that you got? Why don't you wear them on these planned special operation? It is not as if it was a spur of the moment and you forget the body camera them. You knew that you was going on an operation. You know that this was a targeted operation. However, what they also know is the results, the final result that they were going to seek. This was a mission, an execution, a death warrant, and such was the case. And people, while it might be controversial, like them say, desperate times calls for desperate measure. And don't get it twisted. If these persons were taken out in a controversial way, and these people don't have a criminal history, and these people lost their life at the hands of the police unjustly, yes, the police is supposed to be charged, the police is supposed to be sentenced, the police is supposed to get time because that is a criminal act. However, when we are dealing with a criminal, it is a different kettle of fish. They get what they duly or truly deserve. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on an article that was put out by Yard Hype, in which it says that dancehall artist Squash is no longer in ICE custody. Now, when they put that out, it is open to interpretation, but of course, the persons that are optimistic that with all this criminal history, Squash being found with chip Glock, sawed-off shotty, and fraudulent marriage, would somehow make his way out on the street of America. People, that is not the case. So what I did, I called my link in the immigration, and I am going to show you the screenshot as I speak on the screen. The conversation or text started, "Hi, good evening, how are you? Is Squash still in ICE custody? Question sign." The person then responded, "I left my computer at work, I will check tomorrow." I then responded, "Okay, thanks." The person then called me back and said, "Where else would he be? Other than we turn him over for prosecution, meaning to the feds." It goes on to say, "We are not releasing anyone." I then said, "Thanks." I figured that was it. The person then texted me back and said, "You are sparking my interest. Let me call a co-worker." I gave that person time to call the co-worker. The person then called me back, voice call, like you see. No, I sent a message and I said, the reason why I asked is that I saw it in an article. So I just wanted some updates. If you notice below that there was a voice call for 2 minutes in which the person was telling me, "I told you that he's not going anywhere. I told you that his goose was cooked. I told you that he is going to be prosecuted by the feds." I then asked the question, "Is it for the fraudulent marriage?" And the person said, "No. The gun charges, very serious charges." So what this means, they turned him over. So he left from the Broward jail, went to ICE Chrome in Miami, and then now he is in feds. He is doing the tour, the criminal tour, states, immigration, ICE to feds. So therefore, his situation is getting progressively worse. What this means, I told you before that he was supposed to do an interview with HSI, Homeland Security Investigator, it is called, I think, don't quote me, in which they are going to determine, is he going to assist us? Is he going to give us some bigger fish than himself? Or is he going to not give us information and face the wrath of the law for serious crime, which I think the minimum mandatory is 10 years on that. Don't quote me again. What this means is that after he did the interview, or maybe before he did that interview with HSI, they went to the grand jury, which is a federal. Everybody that gets a federal charge, it has to go to a grand jury. Grand jury is pretty much automatic. Once the feds go to the grand jury and tell them that we have this evidence against that person, shows them that person's file criminal history, it is almost automatic that they are going to be indicted, or the grand jury is going to return an indictment. They then go to ICE and pick up Squash and then take him through the federal indictment, let him get his day in courts, get officially charged for whatever charge, more than likely the chip Glock and the sawed-off. I am not really hearing anything about the sawed-off. I heard about that first, but definitely the chip Glock. So people, at the end of the day, it is more than inevitable. I told you guys before, he is going to be charged by the feds. It's either they were going to send him home, immigration deportation, without a shadow of a doubt. But it seems as if they realize that this man is a criminal gangster, so they are going to use him. They are going to set an example out of him. So they are going to give him the time, let him do this time, and then after this time, he is definitely going to be deported back to Jamaica from whence he came. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is an update as it pertains to Shabdan's case. We know that J-Man is going to be the key witness, the top snitch in the case. So we saw that that case was supposed to start a couple of weeks ago. However, there was a delay by the prosecution because they did not get authorization from their partner in the United States so that he could testify on Zoom or one of those platforms. Well, people, it seems as if the court has granted them that favor. He will get the authorization, or the system, the DPP will get the authorization. Now, when we see stuff like this, it becomes more and more obvious that this system, DPP's office prosecution, is a bunch of babbling baboons. Because at the 11th hour, when the case was supposed to start, they are still trying to get authorization to get the key witness to testify against Shabdan. Now, people, if the case is supposed to start and the case is delayed by that, this is something that is automatic. You as a country, being Jamaica, and the suspect in our next country, they are international partners. They have treaty in which a suspect that is held overseas will get the opportunity. All you have to do is fill out the paperwork. They could not simply fill out the paperwork in a timely manner. So you tell me, are you going to trust a system like that to get a conviction? And even worse, from a man that it seems as if there is no motive for him to testify. And yes, his girlfriend lost her life when 5 persons, 3 lost their life, including his girlfriend, meaning J-Man's girlfriend, Fly, in a Rose Heights in a Montego Bay. So therefore, if he really love her, he might testify, defending her legacy or lack thereof. However, he is already looking at life or even the penalty of death based on those double takeaway in Florida. So what is it that he's going to gain? What can the system in Jamaica offer him in which he looks at as the enemy? However, they will dance with the enemy. However, if them realize that they are already screwed, what is the sense dancing with the enemy only to get FUCK, only to spoil his reputation as being a gangster? And you and I know that all of these gangsters, they are the biggest itches in the history of mankind. So the same people that are always preaching informer for dead, turn around, they are the informant in a high-profile case. Only in a Jamrock, point blank, and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.